In this video, we're going to take a look at how we can use GitHub with Godot 4. So I've got a blank project set up for the purposes of this video, and we're going to be doing a few things. We're going to be installing Git, we're going to be making an account on GitHub, making a repository, and then finally we're going to be connecting our local game over here to the repository which we're going to make on GitHub. So first of all, we're going to search for Git. We're going to go over to the website, and then we're going to hit download. So we're going to download the installer. So click here to download. And once that has been downloaded, we're going to open it. Now we're going to go through the setup. Most of these options we're not going to have to mess with, but just make sure you have the same settings as I do. For this one, make sure we click Use Git and optional Unix tools from the command prompt. And then hit install. I've already done this, so I'm not going to do this again. So once that's installed, we're going to open up command prompt, which you can find by searching for command prompt, and open it. And then just to make sure that Git has installed properly, we're going to type in Git. And if an error comes up saying that Git is not recognized, then that means it has not been installed properly. Otherwise, we're good to go. The next thing we're going to do is go over to GitHub. As you can see, I'm already signed in, but what you're going to do is make an account and then sign in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a repository which is going to contain our game. So we're going to go over here, hit create new, and create new repository. So we're going to give this repository a name. I've just called mine test game. You can give it a description if you like. You can make it public or private. And then I'm going to hit create repository. Okay, and now we have some instructions over here for how we can initialize Git inside of our game. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to where our game is using the command prompt. If you don't know where your game is, you can find it by doing the following. So we're going to head over to our game project. We're going to right click, and then we're going to open in File Manager. And this path up here, this is where our game is. So remember this path over here, okay? Now we're going to head over to command prompt. We're going to head over to command prompt, and I need to make my way over to where my game is. So I'm going to hit clear to remove this. And then the command we're going to use for moving folders is using cd, which is change directory. And as you can see, I've saved my game inside of Godot projects. So I'm going to do Godot and hit tab twice, and I can go to Godot projects. And as you can see, now I'm in Godot projects. And then this game itself is called Git Learning. So I'm going to cd once again inside of Git Learning. And if I type git status, you can see that this is not a Git repository. So we're going to make it a Git repository. So we're going to go back over. We're going to go back over to GitHub here right now. And then let's follow these commands. So we can copy and paste them one by one. Paste, git add, copy, paste. We can remove this and just leave a dot here, which is going to add every file. Let's copy the commit message. Our first commit. Okay, so it's git commit -m, and then we can type in any commit message we want. Let's change the branch. Let's add the origin. And let's finally git push. Okay, once that's done, we can now refresh this, and we can see that all of our files are here. So the way this works is now, if I go back to my game, and if I make some sort of change, for example, let me create a 2D scene. I'm going to rename this to world, and let me add a color rect for the game. I'm just going to have a white background. Let me zoom out. And if I hit save, okay, so I'm going to hit save here. If I go back over to command prompt and I hit git status, you can see we've got files which we have, you can see we've got files that we haven't added yet. So in order to add these files and push them, we're going to run the following command: git add dot, and then git commit -m, and now we can add any kind of message we want. So created world, and then finally we're going to run git push. Okay, so you just need to remember these 3 commands: git add, git commit, and git push. Okay, and reload. You can see that my extra files have been added here, and I can click over on commits. I can see it, and I can see a timeline of commits. And if I click on any commit, I can see what exactly has been changed. This is useful because then in some point in time, if you do make a mistake or you want to go back to a previous version, you can always get the commit ID and you can revert your project back to that time. Okay, that's all. I hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know, and thanks for watching.